Abby won HOH, then she saves 2 housemates and secretly puts 3 up for eviction. Guys, this head of house challenge came with games, strategy, lucky dips, a shocking rejection, and a nomination twist. And by the end of the night, 8 housemates were left facing possible eviction. Let's unpack everything. This week's Head of House Challenge tested the housemates on observation, memory, imagination, creativity, and precision. They were divided into 2 teams, with each round eliminating housemates until only the strongest remained. The first game was called Color Wheel. The housemates had to recreate a 12-piece color wheel by following the exact sequence shown in a reference image. They had only a few seconds to study the image before playing, and after 3 minutes, the housemates who completed the wheel fastest moved on, or had the most correct pieces moved on. The next round tested their sense of touch and imagination. There were mystery bags filled with different objects, but the housemates were not allowed to look inside. They had to feel the objects, identify them, and write down their answers. They had 5 minutes, and the 4 housemates who correctly identified everything in the shortest time would advance. And the 4 who survived were Abby, Chimsom Chuka, and Ricky. The semi-final was a creativity challenge. The 4 housemates had to collect the pieces needed to build a sunflower, use the reference image, assemble everything correctly inside the frame, and then paint the sunflower when they were finished. Only 2 made it to the final, Chimsom Chuka and Abby, and this was where things got serious. The final game is called Copy and Paste. The final game was all about memory and accuracy. In front of Abby and Chimchuka was a board containing 8 different images. They had 30 seconds to study the board before returning to their own blank boards and reproducing the correct positions. They were allowed 1 additional look at the reference board, but this time they had only 10 seconds. And Biggie wasn't playing. Once he called their name, they had to return to their board immediately. Every second they stayed away after being called would add 30 seconds to their time. They had 5 minutes to complete the challenge, and the winner would be whoever placed the most images correctly. After an intense final, Abby emerged victorious. Abby is the new head of house. Congratulations to her. But guys, Barry was selected through a lucky dip to occupy the loft. He was then asked to choose someone to share the loft with. And Barry decided to be messy. He picked Godessa. Biggie asked Godessa if she accepted the offer. And this woman didn't even hesitate. She loudly said, "No!" Barry had to choose someone else. So he picked Bluethopia. Guys, the rejection was loud. Because Abby won the Head of House challenge, everyone in her group received immunity. And Biggie also rewarded Chimsom Chuka with immunity for his impressive performance. As the second best overall performer, that meant the housemates in the other group were now vulnerable to eviction. But then Biggie introduced another twist. This week, Biggie gave the new head of house the opportunity to conspire. Abby and her team were sent into side A and given 10 minutes to discuss which 2 housemates from the opposing team they wanted to save. They were free to discuss their options. But once they left side A, they were forbidden from revealing, hinting at, or discussing what had been decided. After their secret meeting, Abby and her team chose to save Bells and Bluethopia. And just like that, they were protected. But Biggie wasn't finished with Abby. After the live nomination process, the head of house was called into the diary room and given another major responsibility. She had to remove 3 housemates from the winning team and put them up for possible eviction to replace the 2 people who had been saved. Abby chose Yusuf, Araga, and Aikou. But here's the funny part. Aikou is actually a gambit and cannot be nominated. Abby doesn't know that, so Biggie basically let her make that nomination without knowing she was wasting one of her picks. At the end of everything, the housemates facing possible eviction this week are Yusuf, Araga, Teminkem, Tram, Godessa, Nomy, Cassie, and Gerard. And there's another interesting detail. Araga and Yusuf don't even know they're up for eviction. So imagine when they eventually find out. And then there's Nomy. For the 3rd week in a row, Nomy wasn't allowed to participate in the Head of House challenge because she arrived late. She was also automatically made the bench warmer. And this time, she wasn't having it. Nomy went straight to the diary room to complain. She was so upset that she didn't even sit in the lounge with the other housemates throughout the nomination process. But guys, at this point, Nomy's relationship with Biggie's rules is becoming a whole storyline by itself. Because if this keeps happening, we have to ask, is she ever going to learn? Could Nomy eventually face a more serious punishment? So what happens next? Abby has won the head of house. Her team is safe. Bells and Bluethopia were rescued through Conspiracy Hour. Chimsom Chuka got immunity for his strong performance. And now 8 housemates are facing possible eviction, while Araga and Yusuf don't even know they're on the list. Meanwhile, Aikou is sitting pretty as a gambit, while Abby has no idea she can't actually nominate him. And Nomy? She's clearly reaching the end of her patience with Biggie's rules. This week is already looking very interesting. If you've not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with your fellow reality TV fans. This is Reality TV Unpacked.
Kindly settle down.
I'm not going.
Bells, Bluethopia. Kindly settle down. To the rest of you, you are all up for possible eviction this week. Remember, or talk about your perceived voters. This is still a punishable offense.
They're
Do
waiting.
you understand?
They are not allowed.
Kindly settle down. Your veto power allows you to influence the outcome of tonight's nominations. You have said Bells and Bluethopia. You must now replace them with 3 members from your team. Precisely.
Damn. Oh no.
You may proceed.
The people say Yusuf, Araga and Aikou.
Kindly confirm your nominations.
Yusuf, Araga and Aikou.
This conversation must remain between you and this brother.
But I want to also send you this thing before you sleep so that you can evaluate.
You may now leave the dairy room. And head of house Abby, congratulations once again.